Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me just do the obligatory check that you can hear me. Yes, we are live, baby. Awesome. Fantastic. Welcome. Today we are doing EFT tapping. And we are focusing on the fear of failure. Let's just clear out that sucker once and for all, so you can get on with being the fabulous, amazing, successful, wealthy version of you that is just trying to burst forth, and you are holding yourself back for whatever reason. So, all of us have fears, doubts, blocks, and limiting beliefs that are holding us back. Every single one of us. So, enough beating yourself up, and it's time to stop being afraid to fail and start embracing the possibility of what you can achieve when you learn the process of success. Because success is just a process. If you haven't achieved the success that you want yet, then you just haven't figured out the process yet. And for every single person, the process is going to be slightly different. Okay. So, yes, there are other people out there who have been incredibly successful, and you can stand on the shoulders of the giants who have gone before you. Abso-freaking-lutely. Learn from them, see what they did. But remember that there are going to be unique elements that only you can bring to this process, to this formula, that you will discover as a consequence of your commitment to learning the process. And failure is just feedback. Failure is just a part of the learning process, and it's something that every single successful person has to come to terms with. And there are those people who were born into environments where there was no real stigma attached to failure. It's like, okay, well, that didn't work. And next, what did you learn? How can you apply that? And then there's environments where a lot of us grew up in that the failure meant shame and humiliation, and it turned us into little snails who just wanted to retreat back into our little homes and not try, because trying was painful. Because if we failed, it was painful, it was humiliating, there was all this disappointment and shame attached to it. Believe me, I get it. I get it. I am not immune to this, and I don't know anybody who is. There may be people out there who grew up in environments where they just they learned that the temporary failure was essential, and there was no identity issue. So before I get into identity, let's start the tapping, okay? Because the whole point of me coming on and having this little talk fest with you is that we get tapping. So if you're not familiar with this, if you've never seen it before, then it's really, really simple. You're tapping on acupressure points. And as you tap on the acupressure points, it is working on your energy system, on your frequency and vibration, to release the blocks, the fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs, the things that are stuck in your energy system that are holding you back. And even if you're not focused on a target, which the most powerful way to use tapping is to have a target, as in it's a trauma, or it's a limiting belief, or it's a pain, emotional pain, physical pain, or it's something that happened to you in your past, and you tap while you're focusing on those things. But even just the process of tapping is actually releasing stuff that no longer serves you. And you set the intention. One of the most powerful things you can ever do before you do any process is to set an intention. So, what I want you to do today is set an intention. And that intention could simply be just to release what is no longer serving me. Set that intention, send it out to the universe, source, the divine, And you will be amazed what will come up, what will come out of my mouth, because you will call it forth, or it will pop into your brain, a realization, something that you may not have identified, or that you have identified, or that you've reframed it. Something will happen during the next 30 minutes while I'm blabbing away that will create the shift in you once you set the intention. Okay. So set the intention and then you can let it go. Send it out to whatever higher power or your higher consciousness. Maybe you can think about, set your intention and feed it to your higher consciousness and go, this is where we're going. Please craft it for me. Provide this for me. Enable this for me. Okay. So I want you to also set the intention to reframe failure. Okay. And if there was a situation in your past where failure caused a painful emotion or situation, I want you to bring that front and center right now, because you are now a different person than you were when that happened. And it's highly likely that that happened in the first 7 to 12 years of your life, probably in the first 7, because they are the most formative years of our life. That's when our personality is kind of getting locked into place, and it's our environment that shapes us. We are a product of our environment. And the things that we learn and experience shape who we are, shape our behaviors, and this is really key and important, they shape our identity. So, and here's something about your identity that could change everything. So, we focus on the law of attraction, frequency and vibration, and your energy flows where attention goes. So whatever you are focusing on and however you are focusing on it will ultimately create your future result. So you know that everything in our experiential 3D reality, what we call reality, is just energy, frequency, and vibration. Your subconscious mind is acting like a projector, because your subconscious mind communicates in pictures and feelings. That is the language of the subconscious. It doesn't understand the language of words. So you can say affirmations over and over and over and over and over, but unless you have pictures and feelings attached to those affirmations, they cannot impress upon the subconscious mind. So you need to use the language of the subconscious to be able to shift the subconscious, which is the projector. What do I mean by the projector? So you are projecting your future experience. You are creating it via the subconscious mind, via the beliefs, the limiting beliefs, via your fears, your doubts, your blocks. And it depends what is dominant. So if your fears, doubts, and blocks are dominant, if your lack and scarcity consciousness is dominant, then that is what you will project into your future, and that is how you will create your future. You are creating your future experience today. You are creating tomorrow today. When you arrive in the following day, because tomorrow never comes, but when you arrive in the following day, what you experience is the result of what you projected yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before that. So change the projection. And the easiest way to do that is to shift your identity. Actually, I should rephrase that, because when I say the easiest way to do that, okay, instead of applying willpower, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make myself do this, I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. every morning and I'm going to go for a 10K run when you've never run in your life, through sheer willpower, ain't going to happen. Or motivation, ain't going to happen. Once you shift your identity, and the reason I rephrased that was that shifting your identity isn't necessarily easy. But you can do it through things like tapping. And once you shift your identity, your behaviors, your actions naturally follow along. So, somebody who has the identity of a fit, healthy person, they don't struggle to eat well. They don't struggle to go to the gym or do their exercise. It is a natural part of their identity. They just do it. It doesn't mean it's any less painful. It doesn't mean it's there's any less discomfort involved. It doesn't mean they wouldn't prefer to eat the chocolate cake over the salad. Speaking from experience here, but they make choices based on their identity. I identify as a fit and healthy person, so I naturally exhibit those behaviors. So, in shifting your identity, and we're going to come back to fear of failure in just a minute, when you actually, let's do that now. If you are a person who is not afraid to fail, if that is your identity, if instead you are prioritizing figuring out the process and the formula of success to be able to achieve whatever your dreams are, totally different focus. What if I fail? What if I try and it doesn't work? What if I'm ashamed and humiliated and disappointed? What if it just reinforces the identity that I already have that I'm a big fat failure? As opposed to, okay, there's a process involved to get me to where I want to be, and I just have to learn the process in whatever way that works for me. And it is always going to involve the application of knowledge. Now, if you have all the right knowledge and you apply all the right knowledge, then your outcome is there's a lot more there's a lot higher possibility that you're going to achieve the right outcome, as opposed to just doing whatever you can without any knowledge backing it up. It's going to be really messy. I mean, it's going to be messy anyway, but it's going to be less messy if you acquire some foundational knowledge to get you started. Don't get analysis paralysis. Don't get stuck in having to figure it all out and it all being perfect. And I don't know enough yet, so I can't take action. BS. Stop that. Start where you're at. Use what you have. Do what you can, because you will learn more by taking action than you will by doing more courses. You will learn a lot more by just taking action, because as I said in the beginning, there are unique elements to this journey of success for you that nobody can predict, that nobody can explain, because they're unique to you. Because there's so much that is unique to you. So let's do some targeted tapping on failure. So I got you about, 10 minutes ago to think about an experience in the past where something happened and you failed and it was painful and you don't want to experience that again. And this is the subconscious. It wants to avoid the pain that is experienced in the past. So it goes, oh, okay, we're flagging this experience. We are not doing that again because it was humiliating and I felt ashamed and I felt belittled and I felt really small and I felt and I felt disappointed. Disappointment is huge. It is a very painful thing. Been there many times, mate. Been there many times. And it is getting yourself back up and dusting yourself off, because it's not a terminal illness, and it is reframing it. When you reframe this stuff, it changes everything. Okay, it didn't work. That sucks. Give yourself a moment to go, that sucks. I feel crap right now. I am so disappointed. I just want to crawl under the doona and just forget the world exists for a little while. Okay. Eventually, you're going to need to crawl back out. Come back out from under the doona and go, Right. What did I learn? How am I better now as a consequence and a result of this experience? What can I apply that I just learned that is going to secure my success in the future? Failure is just feedback. If you're still alive, the possibilities are endless. Endless. Actually, even you're not alive, the possibilities are still endless because you are a being who is infinite. You live for infinity. You're just occupying this meat suit for a little while. Make it fun. Turn this experience into something that is fun and fulfilling and satisfying. You get what you focus on most of the time. So whatever your dominant focus is, that's what you're going to get. I see people regularly just in my own environment that I'm not necessarily really involved with, but they're just always down. Everything's really bad. Their life really sucks. They're always complaining. Guess what? Their life will never, ever improve because where is their focus? How crap life is. Life is never going to be a bed of roses for them or sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns because it's an inside job. It's your attitude. It's your focus. And if you look at things differently, as in, I'm afraid to fail, man, what are the possibilities when I figure out the process and the formula for my success? The possibilities are endless. They're limitless. Do you see the different attitude, the different focus? Okay, so this experience that you had, that was painful when you failed. Are you ready to let that go? You ready to let it go? Are you ready to release your emotional attachment to that situation? Or maybe it's a series of situations. Maybe there's lots of different things and lots of things that you tried that didn't work out and caused this knot in your energy system. And there's this bound knot in your energy system that is stopping the energy from flowing and stopping you from moving forward. You ready to release that? Cool. So notice where that is in your body. Okay, so notice where that energy is locked and bound in your energy system. It could be directly inside you somewhere. It could even be like somewhere outside in your energy system because we are not just our body, we are our energetic form. And that can extend for feet out from our being. It's like your aura. And beyond that, your etherical self. You are way bigger than you realize. Way, way, way bigger than you realize. You're way more powerful than you realize. Okay, so start tapping on the side of the hand with me and repeat after me. Even though I'm afraid to fail, because last time I failed, it was really painful. And I just don't want to go through that again. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I'm really afraid to try, because failing is so painful. I'm still carrying the shame and the humiliation from last time. I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I'm afraid to go all in, because I'm really afraid to fail and all the disappointment and the regret that comes with that. And I deeply and completely love and accept who I am and how I feel right now. This fear of failure When I failed that time, I was so disappointed. I felt ashamed. I had so much regret. I felt like I'll never do anything right. All this disappointment. I felt humiliated. I felt so small, feeling like I'll never get it right. This fear of screwing it up again. All this uncertainty because I don't know how it's going to work out. All this fear of the unknown. I wish I could just know the formula so I could take action and be certain that it's going to work out. Because last time, man, that was painful. I even had people who laughed at me. I just wanted to crawl into a big hole and never come out. I destroy, uncreate, and delete all this shame. I destroy, uncreate, and delete all this disappointment. I destroy, uncreate, and delete all this regret. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my need for certainty. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear of getting it wrong. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear of shame and humiliation. I destroy, uncreate, and delete my fear of the pain of failure. I'd love to have more certainty. I'd love to know it's all going to work out when I take action. But that's not how life works. I know that there are infinite possibilities. I know I am capable of so much more. And I choose to know that success is a learning process. I know that I just haven't figured it out yet. I release all this fear of failure. I choose to know failure is just feedback. I choose to release all the stigma I've attached to failure. I choose to release all the pain I've attached to failure. Failure cannot define me because nothing can define me. I choose to release failure from my identity. I choose to create a new identity, one that is hungry for challenge. I choose to be a person who is hungry to learn. I choose to be a person who is excited to figure out the process and the formula of success. And I choose to know that inevitably I'm going to stuff it up. And I choose to be okay with that because it's all a part of the process. And nothing can define me. I release this old identity that I'm a failure. I release this old identity that is afraid to fail. I release everything that is no longer serving me. I release everything that is preventing me from taking the action I need to take and becoming the best and most powerful version of me who is capable of achieving anything my heart desires. I choose to become the person who is eager to learn and understand the formula and process of success. And whatever journey that entails, and however messy it's going to be, it's going to be interesting. So I choose to embrace the excitement. I choose to embrace the learning. I choose to embrace the ups and the downs and everything that comes with it. And I refuse to let anything define me. I refuse to allow these old emotions to hold me back. I've been stuck for way too long. And that changes now. Because I am choosing to become a whole new version of me who is eager to fail their way forward as I release all the stigma associated with failure. I have to fail in order to succeed. That is the way this works. So focusing on the part of the body that you found where all that energy was bound up in you, and just close your eyes if you need to, but focus on where that energy was or is. Hopefully it's either gone or it's loosened up a bit. It's not as tight, it's not as dense, it's not as heavy. Just focus on it as you tap. Keep tapping. Just be present, fully and totally present to that feeling that is associated with failure, wherever it is in your body or in your energy system. Totally present to it. What you're going to do next sounds really counterintuitive, but you are going to send that bound up energy pure and unconditional love. Because this energy, you created it to keep you safe. Your subconscious created this attachment to keep you safe. So you're just going to send it unconditional love and appreciation and gratitude and thank it for its service. Keep tapping. And now what you're going to do is let it know that it is no longer welcome, that you do not need it anymore, that you are not the person you are or you were. You're not the person you were when you created this knot in your energy system. You're a completely new person. You have reinvented yourself many, many, many times over. You've learnt lots of new things. You are now more resilient. You are now a lot wiser. You are now a lot more determined. You are now a lot more conscious. Now, in your mind's eye, see either an open door or an open window. And let that energy know that it's time to leave. Be assertive, be definite. It is no longer welcome in your energy system and it must leave. Just keep tapping. Stay with it. Keep sending it unconditional love, acceptance, appreciation. And let it know that you will be fine without it. Let it know that it has served you well, but you don't need its service anymore. It needs to go back to where it came from. Reassure it that you are going to be just fine. You learned the lesson. You can take it from here and see it leave out the window or the door. Keep tapping. And when it's gone, close the window or the door behind it. Continue the process if you need to. If it's stubborn, you need to be more assertive. Who's in charge here? Who's running this show? You. And now focus where that energy was. Bring in the light, the love, the power and energy of possibilities that are endless and boundless and live within you. All things are possible. Think about the person you become when you embrace the possibilities that are bound, when you focus on learning and figuring out the process of success. When you approach the process of success with an eagerness and a hunger and a curiosity that is the dominant energy that you approach everything in your life with. Because your identity shift will change everything about your future. Think about that person who is hungry and eager to learn the process of success, who has no stigma or investment in failure. Failure is irrelevant. Whatever. I learned something. Go me. And you will learn far more from the things that don't work than you will from the things that do work. Think about somebody like Elon Musk. I love telling his stories. And there's quite a few of them when you know his story. But the one that really sticks out is the SpaceX story, where he went to work building SpaceX and he had enough money of his own and of his investors' money, he figured out to build 3 rockets. 3 rockets failed. Pretty devastating setback, don't you think? 3 failures, 3 rockets, 3 failures. Pretty devastating for his team too. Then he sits down, he figures it out. I guess he goes back to his investors and he scrapes up enough money to build one more rocket. And he goes back to his team and he says, guys, I got one more. We have one more shot, but that's it. If we don't do this, SpaceX is gone. It is dead. It is history. It is in the bin. Now, it's not only him who's invested in this, it's his team, because he is exceptional at building teams of people who invest in the vision. So this is on the line for them too. They're not just random employees who are like, whatever, if it doesn't work, I'll just get another job. They want this to work. They're incredibly emotionally and mentally invested in this working. They want to be a part of something extraordinary in history that nobody's ever done before. And they're getting paid to do it. They don't have billions of dollars invested, or it's probably hundreds of millions at this point. Hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. It worked. The fourth one worked. Think of the person who made that happen. The courage, the conviction, the determination, the vision, the why. And if you know anything about Elon Musk, his drive is actually the betterment of humanity. Whatever you think of his methods, behind his methods, like occupy Mars. Wait, what? Why? We have a beautiful planet. Because he's terrified that we're going to screw this one up. So he wants us to become an interplanetary species. I'm not so much on board with that. But his vision is extraordinary. You have to admire his vision. Any entrepreneur admires the vision of somebody like Elon Musk. So we're going to leave it there because, gosh, I've gone almost 40 minutes today. Wow. But I do really hope that this has helped you to shift something internally, that you now have a framework for becoming the person you need to be. I'll stop tapping now. It's just natural for me to keep tapping. I don't even realize I'm doing it anymore. But you now have a framework and an understanding of what it's going to take for you to achieve the success, the freedom, the wealth that you truly desire to live the life of your dreams. And it is this identity shift, and it's being willing to embrace and learn and be eager to understand the process and take the journey. Take the journey, no matter how messy it is. Take the journey. Back yourself. Now, if you'd like help with any of this, and I have multiple options for you to be able to work with me. And if you go to margueritacoach.com, I will put the link in the description below, margueritacoach.com. Then you will find multiple options there. Now, it just so happens that at this point in time, I still have applications open for it's pay what you can. So this isn't going to be open for forever, and I can only take on 10 people, and I'm still going through applications. But pay what you can is for entrepreneurs who really need a break. They know they need to work with somebody on their mindset, on their strategy, on their formula, on their process. And this is what I do to be able to achieve their goals. So if that's you and you don't have the money to invest in a coach, because it can be a bit expensive, then there's 10 spots available, and there's still some that are open because I'm still going through the application process. So that is currently open on my website, but it won't be open for forever. And there may be another round later. But just go and check out margueritacoach.com. Check out the options that are available and be the best version of you. Just decide that you're going to be the best and the most amazing version of you, that you're going to release all the crap. It's an ongoing process. Never stops. Keep tapping. I will see you in another live tap and talk in a couple of days' time. Remember to subscribe, like this video, share it out to people who you know will benefit from it. It will really help my channel a lot. So, love you loads. I'll see you in the next Tap and Talk. Bye for now.